Micro lesson by Deborah S. Weekend Getaway. In this lesson, I'm going to be doing a little bit of the warm-up and objective, the instruct and model, and some of the independent practice. Okay, students, so welcome back. Today's lesson is going to be on a weekend getaway, and we read the story from Camille Hansen. That's the story. It's an English short story book, and we're going to read chapter 11. So it's weekend getaway, and I think I gave you the vocabulary, a few words. One was getaway. Let's just review. What is getaway? Can you raise your hand? Yoko, what is getaway? Yes, that's correct. Getaway means to go away, like to take a vacation, to take a break. It's another word, get away, just to take a vacation. All right, let's see what other words. Count me in. Roberto, do you know what count me in means? Yes.
Included.
Included, right, to be included, to be counted in on going on the trip, that you want to be able, you want to say, I'm going on the trip. Count me in. All right, does anybody know what low season means? Low season? Nobody? Nobody? Okay, so low season means it's a little bit cheaper to go travel at a particular point in time. And maybe it's not, peak season. Peak season means that it's the nicest, the sunniest, the warmest, or it could be the snowiest if you're going on a snow vacation. So low season is a little bit off the season, and it's a little bit discounted. So a lot of people look for that, so it's a little cheaper. All right, now, one last word that I want before we start reading. It's settled. What does it settled mean? Anybody know? Can then raise your hands? Okay, good. It's settled means that it's like when two people agree on something. It's another word for saying agreement, that they agree. So let's read the story. I'd like each one of you, I'm going to call on you to read a paragraph each, and we're going to talk about what you've read. And then at the end, I'm going to read the story again to you so that we can listen and listen to the pronunciation. Okay, so Yoko, you can start us off, please. Let me hear you read. Perfect. Let's leave after work on Friday. I can send a couple of Airbnb options this evening. Since it's the low season and we're splitting it 3 ways, it will be probably less than $100 each. Very good. Okay, so here we have something which we didn't discuss. What is an Airbnb? Does anybody know? Has anybody stayed at an Airbnb? An Airbnb takes the place of a hotel room, all right? It could be a house. It could be a room in somebody's house, but it's a little bit cheaper usually. So these girls are planning on maybe going to an Airbnb during the low season, during the season that it's not very expensive. And they're thinking that if they can split it 3 ways, it would be a little bit cheaper. Okay, does anybody have any questions about the story that we've read? Any questions? Any comments? Did you enjoy the story? I think so too. These short stories are very good. They're fun to listen to. All right, so now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to get together in pairs, and I'd like you to reenact the story. Have fun with this. You don't have to get the story perfectly correct. It doesn't have to be verbatim, in other words, word for word that you read, but we're just going to reenact it a little bit just so that we'll have a little bit of an audience, and we'll have a couple of volunteers up front, and you can do a little role play and make believe that you're Eloise and maybe her friends. Why don't 3 of you actually stand up front and you can reenact? Okay, that sounds perfect. You guys are doing a great, great job. Now, What I'd like to do is, normally I tell you guys to put your phones away, but what I'm going to do is I'm asking you to take your phones out now, and I want you to look up the New York Times picture prompt. New York Times picture prompt. Why am I asking you to do that? I want you to look at a specific picture. All right, the picture is called Road Trip, and it looks like this. It's a picture of some people that look like they're in a car. One person looks almost like they're holding a map, and maybe one person is holding a Kindle or some sort of an a technology. And I'm going to come around and make sure that you all have your the correct picture. Okay, that's good. Everybody have it? Raise your hand if you have it. Terrific. Okay. So, what I want you to do with this picture prompt is I want you to break into pairs again, just two people this time. And I want you to write 4 to 6 sentences on a piece of paper about a weekend getaway. This can be fiction, not true, or it can be about a true vacation that you took, maybe with your family, maybe with your friends. And I want you to write 4 to 6 really good sentences, work together on it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pass them around, and we're going to have your other students, your peers, look at your writing. And we're just going to finish this lesson with that. So if you could please look at the prompts that I showed you, get some ideas from it, come up with some ideas. Let's see, be creative. This is your opportunity to be creative and do some creative writing. I do want to remind you, please, to try to use capital letters at the beginning of a sentence. Use your punctuations, use your adverbs, use your adjectives, your explaining words, your verbs. Try to keep in mind of the grammar lessons that we've had previously, and let's see what you come up with. I'm very excited to see what you come up with. All right? Have fun with this.